Call the Education Committee to order. We do have a set of minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or concerns? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there any public comment that needs to be made for education? All right. If not, we'll move right on. School system.
Okay, just from my report, off to a good start, a really good start. Approximately about 97% fill rate on our teachers, and that's continuing to go down. The last report I have is 50 openings district-wide and certified, less than 10 in classified, that's for classroom instruction. A few more than that in some part-time positions in our school nutrition, but overall, completely different look to where we were at a year ago or 2 years ago. So, we're in pretty good shape on that. Off to a great start. Had a few traffic issues a couple of days. That is getting better. Opened West Wilson Middle course, and we've been there a few years, and that created a strain. Met with Mount Juliet City Chief of Police, and Tyler was there. We're going to change a little bit something for our buses on Monday. We think will help it even better, but that is progressing for the amount of days we've been in. We're cutting down that time, so pretty good shape on that. What you have in front of you is you have three documents. We're going to start with the capital outlay plan, 1 to 5 years. It goes back a little further than that, just showing what we have done. Please note that the blue is projects that have been completed, funded and completed and done. The green are projects that are funded. Funds have been set aside, we'll be working toward those. You have some red that was not funded. Of course, some of that you can really is not needed. The Glade Elementary addition will not be needed if we proceed with building this next new school. And some of that we'll be bringing to you. So I wanted to show you what we have done together, even though it's a lot of it's a lot of it's within our budget. And what we've been able to do is showing you our maintenance plan. We've still got a lot of work to do. If you remember the roof plan, if you look at that, we're really behind on roofing, but we are making progress and we'll continue this year. We will be bringing some of this funding for the 24-25 school year to you as we get farther in and look at our fund balance. I'm really ready this fall to start looking. For instance, you've got to start attacking some of this HVAC plans. A lot of these buildings 20-year-old. So we will be in the upcoming months bringing you some requests to go into fund balance, but we feel very comfortable we can handle that. And that way, it's not on bond money. We're really going to attack this maintenance plan, try to get these older buildings, keep them up to where they need to be. So we're proud of this. I think you'll be proud of this. Because if you see everything that's funded in blue, there's quite a lot of work has been done to take care of buildings and maintenance, and we're going to continue doing that. Not asking for approval. I'm not bringing this because this is just our plan. The board has looked at it, approved it in my report last Monday night, and it's fluid, but you can see we do have a plan moving forward where we need to be. So I wanted to give you that. Then, I'll go ahead and cover, you have at the last board meeting, the board did unanimously approve a bid, including alternate 1 and 2 from R.G. Anderson for construction of New Central Pike Elementary at the August 5th board meeting. The total bid to include alternate 1 and 2 was the low bid, $46,749,000. The alternates will bring that core capacity to 1,000 students. We have a recommendation letter and bid from Katz Binkley Jones and Morris Architects. That's attached for your review. We are requesting a bond from West County Commission amount of $53 million. The additional $6.251 million is to purchase low voltage equipment, hardware, furniture, equipment, and supplies not included in the general contract bid. And people, I get the question, well, why do you do that? Well, with our technology department, the low voltage, and our hardware, we can handle that in-house. without paying a commission fee to a general contractor for them to take care of that. And that has worked in what we've been doing. So I do have that to bring to the committee tonight. You do notice on that letter, we have 3 bidders, very close bidding, if you'll look at it. That bid, the low bid of $46,749,000 is lower than the bid we approved for Legardo. So we're starting to see maybe some of these construction come down just a little bit. But I am going to request that you approve that. We will be moving that to full commission this month, of course. Any questions? I do have the architect here if you got any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid. And move it to
You're
the
actually,
commission.
you're approving the bond issue, is that what you?
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
you don't have
yeah.
to approve the bid.
Okay, well, accept this bid number and approve the bond issue.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns? Yes, I do have one question, because I received a phone call this afternoon. For some reason, I got about 4, all dealing with education, and one of them dealt with this school because that they wanted to know, these people wanted to know, will the new school come before the improvements that are needed at Lakeview?
Well,
And it seems like they're really up in the air because they just felt like Lakeview's been put on the back burner again.
well, it's not been put on the back burner. If you look on your 20, let's go back to the capital outlay plan to answer that. If you'll look on that 24-25, we've included that in doing a reno there. Lakeview, and we've estimated 15 million. Don't know if we'll have to bid it out and do that. We already have plans. So it's not been put on the back burner. Also, while we're talking about it, Watertown Middle replacement, remodel, looks like we're gonna do a replacement, is what I'll be bringing. Not that we can do all that this year, but Lakeview is right where we said it would be, and it will be our next renovation project. We're finishing up Mount Juliet Middle. If you'll go back and look, we spent $4.5 million there. That one, when that gets complete, that Lakeview is gonna be brought to you, I believe, this year. So no, we're handling as much renovations and maintenance as we can within our budget. That's been my plan the whole time. And I've shared that. I think y'all agree we've shared that. We'll be able to do it. And so no, to answer that question, we will not be doing that. Also, on this bid, your design has been paid within, that's already paid. We've already paid that. We've got POs encumbered for it. That's coming out of our
For the new school?
for the new school.
Yeah.
So no, I
Understood that.
can't, I mean, I know everybody feels maybe that way, but we have so many needs in building and doing renovations that, you see what we put out, and I gave the board for the capital outlay, and Lakeview is included, and that'll be the next project, and that's where it's been the whole time.
That's what I'll tell them then.
Yeah, I got the same questions over the weekend as you.
And I
did,
understand,
so,
we
yes.
need to get to it.
Oh,
We put a
yeah.
roof on there this summer. That's when we
You
moved
did,
that
it looks
up.
really good.
So we wouldn't have to do that as part of the reno. It's already been done. So we are well aware of the needs there and working toward
Did
completing.
they put a roof on there that required the rock on top of it?
That roof had the rock on it. Yeah, but it is a 20-year roof, still a good roof, and Rackley did it, was very pleased with them. We got daily reports. Was really pleased with how quick they got in.
The reason I ask, because when I was there, the kids loved getting up there and throwing the rocks off the
I
roof.
don't know why you let kids go on the roof.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Moving on.
Now,
Okay.
we have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Can you email this out too? It's hard to see the blue.
Yeah,
I was wondering if you could use the rest of the paper too, maybe spread it out.
I'm trying to make it bigger.
Can you see the blue? I can see all the numbers in the blue.
Yeah, they were all.
Okay,
Next week, you have another question?
yeah, if you don't mind me asking.
Absolutely.
I got a phone call from another gentleman concerning the book committee, he read something in the paper about, and I did too, about the state changing and, y'all are doing away with, what'd you call it?
The Book Review Committee,
Book
district
Review
level.
Committee.
Yeah, there was a change in state law to that process, and our policy now aligns, recommended by TSBA, approved by the board, that those review of the books. First of all, the big change, the only body can ask for request for review of a book is a parent, an employee, or a student. And the recommended policy that TSBA provided will be done at building level. But the big changes in the change in the state law itself and the language, where they gave definitions, that if a book contains and matches those definitions, it must be removed. And it gives the principal and the librarian the power to do that at any time. There is some books will be removed that will never go back to review because we have to align with that state law.
I guess his question was, who's gonna be doing the reviewing? He didn't understand
The
that.
principal, under the law, the principal can remove the book, the librarian can remove the book. If you get a challenge, then it will, the principal can look at it with the librarian, or he can establish an ad hoc committee at school level that you have to have a teacher and a parent. Then they would make a recommendation to me to bring to the board. That's the only time it would come to the board. The big thing that's happened, it's got out, we're closing libraries, we're not closing libraries. As you know, when you start school, our library media specialists, the first few days, they're responsible for getting all the Chromebooks out and getting all the textbooks. That's pretty normal procedures. You wait a few days to start checking out books. Met with the principals today, they will be some of them start checking out books. With that law though, it also says that all material must be reviewed by the librarian. And we've got some librarians that are reviewing, they're pulling. We put in our policy, if it's removed from one school, it will be removed countywide. We'll report that back to the board, probably do that quarterly or biannually. Here's the books that have been removed. But it is strictly based upon the language of state law. And Mike, you've been involved, if I've explained that, if you explain any better, that's where we're at. And we've spent a lot of time working on that, so that we are following the law as close as we possibly can.
Then I had a lady to call and just real upset at the fact that y'all are building another school on Central Pike. And I said, ma'am, we're building schools where the kids are. And she said, well, it's just too little. We ought not to be building one out there.
That's right. It's a state road, tell the state.
And then my last, right before I got here, I got another one about Lebanon Road. They want to know, and the mayor probably could answer that better than you could, want to know when the improvement's going to be made in front of West Elementary School.
That's in the process. I think there's been some meetings and stuff, work done. We've met with the state several times on that, and we're waiting just as like everybody else.
The mayor said that what they told him was that they had trouble finding enough telephone poles to move them all.
I've not heard that.
And that's what I told this person. They said, well, there's some metal telephone poles laying down there. Is that them? I said, I don't know. So
That's
Way too much time on that. Way too much time on that.
is there any other business needs to come before? Yes, sir.
We got a budget.
Yeah, they've got a budget in it.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
On the library and the book situation, there's not a criminal element.
I'm not gonna say that. I did have a meeting with the DA, and Mike, you may wanna answer that.
That's a tough question to answer. In my opinion, to bring a criminal charge on something like that would not be the right thing to do. Can it be done? Possibly.
So,
Yeah.
you're gonna hear books are coming out of your libraries, and it's been told, what are we doing with it? We're storing them. We're gonna bring them to ATC. I do believe this will be litigated somewhere, at some point. But that's what we're doing. But I will not say, I would have said last year no to your, but I will not say that
No,
this year.
yeah, last year was pretty clear. Very slowly, in my opinion, trying to merge education law and criminal law together. And that's
disastrous.
I won't say nothing.
And let me say, I'm gonna protect my people, regardless of who gets mad about it. That's part of my role, is I'm gonna protect the teachers, I'm gonna protect students, and, that's where I'm gonna land. That's where I've landed.
Okay, I understand you have a budget amendment.
Yes, sir. First one is showing our restricted funds that were moved to fund balance at the end of the year. We're just moving them back. It's money that's been donated or grants that's been given that have not been spent completely in '24. So this is the balance we're bringing forward to '25 so that they can continue to spend those.
Motion to approve. Second.
And the second one is just our innovative school models, just a budget line item change.
Is all of this in this one?
It is one, yes.
I think you got the whole scope.
Let's
Do I hear a motion in a second?
Motion.
I mean, you go ahead and explain if you
I
want
think
to.
they, does anybody want to explain, continue to go or not?
Yeah, go ahead and explain the whole thing before we vote on it.
The last one is just, we received a TPA grant of one of our teachers from West Elementary. So we're just recording that revenue and the expense line item related to that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any other discussion?
What is the TVA grant for?
STEM related, I think she's actually buying electric bikes and they're doing experiments and stuff related to the electricity related to the bikes. So,
How to preserve electricity.
Pretty great.
Any other questions or concerns? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Now, is there anything else that needs to come before the Education Committee?
I want to say one thing, Jeff, on this paper here. Yep. Y'all done us a tremendous job through the years. I mean, helping us a bunch, so we appreciate
We're
it.
gonna bring you some more this year, hopefully.
Yeah, it helps.
All within your budget? Thank you, sir. Bobby's.
One other motion? Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to compliment the school system for the work in Mount Juliet in front of West Wilson Middle School. From first to third day. Wouldn't believe the first day. I think everybody took their kid to school in a car. I think they took 2 cars.
Hey, Bobby, get a phone call?
Thank you. And Mount Juliet too, they're out there all day.
Anybody else?
Motion adjourned.
Thank you.